What's up? Welcome in Sunday edition of No One to Blame. This will be our new time slot here, 10 a.m. We'll be joined by our data guy here, Jake FB Data. Jake, say hi to the people, man. A little introduction, if you would.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, sure. So I'm the head of analytics here at Do Champions, and then I host the Buffalo Blueprint on Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I break down each week the matchup for the Buffalo Bills and usually have a guest on of the opponent. So this week we had Cody Stutes on from the Houston Texans. So definitely check us out. But I'm happy to be on here and hopefully providing a little different angle for our betting friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Jake has the best analytics. We hired him on and do when we first started this whole thing up, and Jake's just been nonstop providing the best data. Kevin and I are looking at each other like, why are we not using this for the gambling show? Not to mention, Jake is a fellow DGen. So without further ado, I'm also joined by our co-host, Kevin3E2 on X. Kevin, I won't ask you to say what's up because I know you hate it. We a little bit of a late start today. Technical difficulties. We had seismic-sized waves coming over from London because Aaron Rodgers throwing not one interception but two interceptions, one to the house. Oh, you love to see it.
Back-to-back
But-
drives, I think.
There was back-to-back drives. It's just a beautiful thing. What a way to start a Sunday. Just love it.
AA Ron, not coming through
It's
early
beautiful.
in London.
Now, the three of us obviously did not do a preview. We do have some bets we're going to share with you. Before we get to that, guys, No One to Blame is brought to you by Kayak Pools. Kayak Pools is the hassle-free pool experience that empowers customers to turn their own backyard into a fun and relaxing family destination. The summer is over now. It's the perfect time to start planning in the New York area. Get that pool going, guys. Don't have to go to your friend's house. Be the one that hosts the pool parties. We're also brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is our newest sponsor. They have an amazing energy drink, clean ingredients, offers you a great energy boost with no crash. They also have this amazing electrolyte to keep you hydrated throughout your busy days. Hit the link in the bio. Use promo code DUE, D-U-E. Get 10% off your first purchase. Dubby, that's DUBBY.GG. We're also brought to you by SonsOfErie.com. Sons of Erie, fellow Do affiliate, artist formerly known as Otis, is the creative genius back there, also student. Go check out SonsOfErie.com, guys. Amazing artwork. We have this Are You in the Mafia that I'm always rocking in the background. And yeah, we are also brought to you by my mustache. A little shocking here, but this is for student. I know you're watching this. For every single person that shaves a mustache, not so much. Other way around. For every single purchase that shaves into a mustache, grows her mustache out, student is going to donate $50 to Harrison's Playmakers. Harrison Phillips, ex-Bill, current Viking, actually playing in London right now. Friend of the program, friend of the Do Network. We got to support our guy. We got to support Student. Student was on Third and Manageable on Friday night, looking like he just got off duty as a traffic cop. So I had to represent. I can't let him out there. So yeah, all right. Jake, Kev, where are you guys standing right now? Did you have any pre-flop action on this Minnesota game? Jake, let's start with you, buddy.
I did. I actually liked a lot of stuff in this game. For me, it more came down to kind of the matchup and what I thought was going to happen. The game script so far has gone a little bit different, but I was shocked to find that the Minnesota defense has been giving up the most passing yards so far and receptions to wide receivers. So I was thinking, Rodgers would probably get a little bit going. They've also been more susceptible in the slot to out wides. And with Rodgers' comments saying he wanted to get Garrett Wilson going more, I thought that would be a good spot. So I liked Garrett Wilson over his 4.5 receptions. And then I liked Lazard over his receptions, over 3, and Conklin over his at 2.5. Also, Mike Williams has getting more and more snap share every game, and his receptions total was only 2.5. So I like that as well from the Jets side. For anytime touchdowns, I liked Wilson and Lazard as well. They're just getting such a ridiculous red zone target share. They're each getting 31% of the red zone target share. So I figured they'd have a look at this game. From the Minnesota side, I really liked Aaron Jones anything. So I liked his rushing yards over 70, his receiving yards over 25.5, and his receptions over 2.5. And then I figured Breece Hall, this could be a Breece Hall game. He's kind of been due to break out a little bit. And with the rain possibly coming in this game, I figured the Jets might run the ball some.
Shout out Whittle. Vikings up 10-0. Kev.
Yes, sir.
So we just learned that Jake loves every single player in this game.
Yes.
Kev, did you have any action before this game started?
No, I kind of stayed away from this one. I do like Minnesota -2.5 in it. As far as the props go, I was out. Man, I tell you what, watch the first probably just 5 minutes of this game. NFL teams need to watch Kevin O'Connell or whoever's calling these plays, because Justin Jefferson is open all the time. I know he's good and he's going to get open, but man, they are scheming him open as well. That's tough to beat, man.
Wide open. Whittle coming in from the top rope. Are we sure Rodgers is a massive upgrade from Zach Wilson?
No.
Garrett Wilson, don't think so.
I come in, you guys know the tight and the tees over here. I got Minnesota +5, under 47.5. Obviously, that under is going to be in danger if they keep turning the ball over. I played a Lazard anytime touchdown +280. I played Aaron Jones touchdown -112. I parlayed them +625. I tweeted all this out. Follow me, do_Neffy. I got these plays tweeted out. I went Jake's route. I used Jake's data here. Built myself a little +600 alt parlay. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Maybe when this game ends or gets close to ending, we'll check in on some of these bets. This game closed at Minnesota -2.5, -132 on the money line. Jets +112, over under a 41.5. Kevin and I had picked Minnesota going into this, but we didn't talk about it beforehand, so we aren't going to count it. Maybe we will. I don't know. We got 4 teams on bye this week. The Lions, Chargers, Eagles, Titans. Nothing notable really there. The bye weeks are going to start getting aggressive, especially if you're playing fantasy football. Real quick, before we get going in the NFL, we start our full preview here. We're going to be talking about sides, totals, prop bets. We're going to do every single game. That's why we brought on our guy, Jake. College football yesterday, holy shit. 5 of the top 11 teams going down. Should have been 6. Ineligible men down the field on that last Miami touchdown. Any thoughts on college yesterday, guys?
Vandy, man. Vandy taking the goalpost to the river on Bama. Saban coming out and saying that's the only place in the SEC that there's more visiting fans than home fans, and they come out and put it on them. Hey, that's awesome.
I love it.
Vikings turnover on downs real quick to update on the Jets.
Where were they at?
They were at, I think, the 40-ish yard line. Darnold went deep down the left side against DJ Reed, incomplete. For college yesterday, I think it was just one of those weeks, right? Every once in a while you get a week where a lot of surprising stuff happens. Some high-powered offenses just have off week. For me, the big surprise, though, or I guess it wasn't a surprise, but just nice to see, is the service academies. So Army and Navy, staying undefeated and looking good. That's really great to see, especially in this nil era. So that was the big takeaway for me.
I was on the opposite side of both of those games, so I actually I started out my Saturday. Yeah, I went 1-1 on Friday. I had Cuse, and then I threw a long shot teaser in. Obviously, putting long shot teasers, just a little sprinkle, straight bets for a unit. So in the black there. And then I started my day 0-6-1, I believe, yesterday. Finished with 6 straight victories. So if you're following me, do_Neffy on X. I know you were probably cursing at me. I had some accountability there. But I will not, and this is something you got to have a little bit of discipline. I didn't chase, right? I want to say this for the first time in my gambling history. I did not chase. I let the dominoes fall. I tweeted my plays out. I let it go. And so finished up, I believe it was 7-7-1 or 7-8-1. It's all on Twitter, but
was this pre-stash or post-stash?
Post. This
Okay.
is the new stash era, yeah.
All right.
Flavor saver here. I could taste my beer even when I'm not drinking it, so it's good.
Yeah, there you go.
My wife would not give me a kiss after I shaved this, but
I wouldn't either.
It's for charity. It's the charity. Before we get going, Kev, will you pin that comment up real quick? Sean Kavanaugh, shout out Sean out there on the West Coast. Do you guys think the new playoff format creates a lack of urgency from some of these big name schools? That's a good question. I haven't thought about it from that angle. To kick it to Jake and Kev, what do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Jake. All right,
Damn
I'll
you.
go. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit similar to college basketball. How, college basketball, big team loses a game early, it's no big deal. They get second half of the season is kind of, as long as you're right, second half of the season, these losses aren't going to kill you. I don't think it creates a lack of urgency. I think these guys are still going out and try to win these games each week. It might show that way, but I don't think there's any like purposeful, think these are just, these teams are all closer now than they've ever been talent wise, even some of these smaller schools. So I just think it's a product of that in my eyes.
Agreed. Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think probably part of it is too, like the transfer portal and so much new for a lot of these teams, and even just the coaching staffs as well. There's so much turnover. I feel like nowadays that it's tough to hit the ground running with a lot of these teams, and so I think that's why you're seeing up and down starts and up and down weeks. And then also just I feel like this year in particular, there's been a lot of injuries, especially to like quarterbacks and offensive and defensive lines. I think a good example is it Georgia Tech, I think, or where they're on like their 5th quarterback or whatever, so or 4th
Maybe.
quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just for me, I think it's just a lot of the turnover and a lot of new that causes the slow starts to start the year. And yeah, I think it's a good point though, as far as with the new format, like there's not the sense of urgency. It doesn't feel like a playoff game in some of these big games.
I think more now than ever, if you have 2 losses and you're one of these, power fives, I think your chances of getting in have gone up. But I also think it's a combination. I think there's a lot more parity now. This NIL money, you got guys getting paid from these smaller schools that got a little bit of cheddar cheese. I just think there's a lot more parity. And what happened yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Well, we should dig up this data, but I'm pretty sure that this has happened a couple times in the past 2 or 3 years, where 3, 4, 5 of the top 10 teams are getting knocked out just because there is that much more parity. Shocking, though. It should have been 6. I'll stand my ground there.
Rebecca dropping bombs in the comments section here. Yeah.
No. That's great.
Isn't she
5
funny?
feet of the schoolyard? Yeah,
I think that's too close.
This is for the kids.
Yeah,
this is for the kids.
That's the worrisome part.
She's got to sleep next to me. She's might be sleeping in a different bedroom tonight. All right, let's get into our NFL preview, guys. Let's start with our 1:00 games. Real barn burner here. Miami at New England. I know as Buffalo fans, we got our eyes on this early game right now with the Jets playing. We got our eyes on Miami and New England. Miami is closing as a -1.5 favorite. Real quick, I pulled these lines an hour ago. So our bets are going to be a little bit different than the lines because we got to grab the best of the number. Kevin and I'm sure Jake has preached about this. We're previewing these lines from an hour ago. Okay. Minnesota -1.5. Miami -1.5, -122 in the money line. New England +104. Over under of 36.5. Kev, why don't you lead us off and let's all talk about what side we're taking and what side we like.
All right. Yeah, this one I mean put a gun to my head on this one. I didn't like picking this one at all. I did just take New England in the points +1.5. Miami is dead last in points per game, and New England is second to last in points per game. So what does that mean? They're probably going to go over. We'll see how that happens. Miami, until they do something different at the quarterback position, they just, I don't know. We talked about it last week. I just don't see it. Tua, I was so shocked that Tua is making this big of an impact on this offense. They need to get Achane running the ball. Like I said, I don't really like anything in this game. Coin toss, give me New England in the points.
Any prop bets, Kev?
Nope, nothing in this one. Staying away prop wise.
Jake, you have a handicap angle for this game that you liked?
Kind of, I guess, maybe. I think.
Now, I will say you can say no.
For sure.
We don't have to bet every game.
For sure. I just think if you're a fan of either of these teams, I mean, for me, I think the soft spot is the New England secondary right now. I think they're pretty banged up. I think that's where they can be had, especially on the slot. I don't know if you can trust Snoop to hit those, but I won't tip your hand here, but I think that's where you can have some action. And then on the New England side, like when's Drake May come in? Because we've heard rumblings. If he comes in, that could really shake up this game. So I mean, if you're a live bettor or something like that, and you're looking at an angle, like I'd say if Miami gets up early, you could watch for Drake May probably starting in the second half, and that might be somewhere you can grab some low lines on some of the New England pass catchers because they haven't gone down the field at all. Like I don't think they've completed a pass over 20 yards for New England, so I'm guessing all their lines are going to be really low for their pass catchers. So I don't know, that could be a fun little long shot bet. As far as picking the game, I wanted to go New England, but I think this is a spot where Miami has to win. Like they have to win. They have more talent, and I think you put up 10, 13 points, and that could be enough to win this game. So I'm gonna have to go with Miami for that reason.
Yeah, full agreement here. I'm on Miami -1.5. This is almost the best bet for me this week. Tyler Huntley has proven in the past that he can be a competent quarterback. I know he backed up Lamar, which it was a perfect scheme fit. He was like Lamar Light when he played for the Ravens, right? So, but he could throw the ball. They have too many weapons. Miami will not keep losing like this. It's a division game, which is tough. I think that's indicative of the spread. Miami's got a bye on deck. They do not want to go into this bye with a loss, especially to a lowly New England team. I'm going to go with the team that has more talent here. I'm going Miami -1.5. For a prop bet, I bet a Ramondre Stevenson touchdown. Miami D has given up the second most rushing touchdowns so far this year. The analytics and the sample size is starting to grow. It's now time to start paying attention to some of this stuff. I also liked Huntley touchdown. Didn't play it, but definitely going to go with the Ramondre Stevenson touchdown +160. Early ladder bet here. We usually save these for the end of the show. I'm going to talk about it now because Jake alluded to it. New England giving up. What was New England's secondary giving up, Jake? Yardage wise?
I don't have the exact numbers. Give me a sec.
Was that something that we had talked about?
Just their secondary super banged up. They are giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth most passing yards to opposing quarterbacks.
Most. So I saw Jalen Waddle at over under 37 yards or 36.5 is his starting point here.
Again, so Justin Jefferson wide open. Sorry.
No. Quick update in that Sunday game. What's going on?
It's still 10-0, but another wide open throw down the field to Justin Jefferson.
Missed?
No,
No, they hit it.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
what a
nice
pick play. That was a
play.
nice
What a
rub
pick
route.
play.
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, Jesse. Go.
No, perfect. We need the updates. Keep it going. Maybe we'll just put our hand up when one of us has an update. Starting at Jalen Waddle. I play this all the way to the top, so I'm going to get through this quickly. Keep up. Jalen Waddle, over 37 yards, minus 113. Hit 47, you're getting plus 125. Jalen Waddle hit 57 yards, plus 175. I mean, I could easily see him getting 60 yards today. 67 yards, plus 248. 77 yards, plus 351. 87, plus 505. 97, plus 740. And I told you guys, I took it all the way to the top. True D-Gen fashion here. 107, plus 1102. And his top rung of the ladder would be 117 plus receiving yards, plus 1,680. I played them all, 2, 4, 60. 9 rungs of the ladder. Tyler Huntley coming to town. Going to put it on New England. I'm calling it here. If it's wrong, don't at me. Any closing thoughts, Miami, New England guys?
No, I like that though. I think this is, if you're looking for angles in games like this, that's what you're looking for, right? For a guy who's got the ability to break out, you're buying, real low on him and then, hoping he breaks out. You saw last week where they're still trying to hit deep shots. They're still trying to hit the same type of throws. Snoop was just missing them. They had Tyreek, I think 3 times that I saw, breaking wide open deep. So yeah, I think it's a great spot. Good call.
Kev, anything else in this game?
Absolutely nothing.
Get off this game. Let's go.
Let's get to our next game, guys. We got Carolina Panthers visiting the Bears. Chicago closing as a minus 3.5 point favorite, minus 198 on the money line. Carolina plus 166. Over under 40.5 on this game. Let's keep the same format. Kev, what side you taking and why?
Yeah, give me Chicago minus 3.5. And then, I feel like I say this every week, but I'm rolling with that defense against Carolina. Andy Dalton's been a good story and all, but the Red Rifle will it may regress to his means here at some point. Good defense. I think Caleb is looking a little bit better each week. I think offensively, they're just trying to figure out how to scheme to block it up, man. Their offensive line has been bad. So protecting him, giving him time to throw. But yeah, give me Chicago minus 3.5.
Hey, real quick, Sean's asking, and Jake, this might be a you question here. Hate to bet against the Bills, but the thoughts on Cam Akers over 51.5.
It's tough for me. I want to know if Dameon Pierce is playing or not, and then I just really worry about does he get enough carries, and can he break enough off? Yeah, the Bills are happy to give up rushing yards, but I'm not sure I trust Akers to break enough to get that done. So it's a little too risky for me.
That's a sharp line. I probably wouldn't play it.
I'd get him an anytime touchdown, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can co-sign that. Jake, your thoughts on this Carolina-Chicago game?
Sure. So I'll try to bring some stats to this one. So Carolina D is giving up the second most rushing yards and rushing touchdowns to running backs. They're giving up the most tight end touchdowns. They're giving up the second most passing touchdowns at 9 and the second most running back rushing touchdowns as well, like I said. That Carolina D line is just not very good. And then they're just getting thrown all over. Chicago defense, they've caused 2+ turnovers in 3 of 4 games, and they are giving up the third most rushing touchdowns as well. I like Chicago in this game. I think Dalton always gives you a chance just because at this stage in his career, he's willing to sling it, and that can be dangerous if the game script kind of gets away from you early for Chicago. I don't trust Caleb Williams to drop back and throw the ball a lot, even against a bad Carolina defense. But I think Chicago will get it done. They're at home, too. I like them. They're at home.
I agree. Full agreement here. Hey, you had a couple prop bets for this game, Jake?
Yeah, I do. I like Deontay Johnson. It's a little risky with his ankle injury, but I think he's okay. And his 2 starts with Andy Dalton, he's had 7+ receptions, so I like his over 5.5 receptions. I like DJ Moore over 4.5 receptions. He's gone over 5 in 3 of 4 games. I like Chuba Hubbard over 61.5. If you can find his receptions, I'd take it anything over 4. He's done that in his starts with Andy Dalton. And then I like DeAndre Swift over 51.5. So put those 4 together, and it's a plus 1347 parlay. Anytime touchdowns, there's some good money in there too. I like Cole Kmet at plus 350 for anytime touchdown. He's getting a lot of the red zone looks, and Carolina's not been great against tight ends. And then DJ Moore at plus 190, I think is pretty high. And then anytime you can get a starting running back at plus money, I usually take it. So I like Chuba plus 135. I know that was a lot, but I like this game.
Nope, no, I love that. I think that's a great angle. I think when we preview our next game, Jake, I'm going to let you go first and lay your stats out, and then Kevin and I will talk from there. I think I like that a little bit better. I am on Chicago minus 3.5 here. Carolina.
So Carolina's going to win, right? If we're sweeping it.
Yeah. See that graphic with all across the board? Not good.
Exactly.
Not good.
This is the trend that Kevin and I always talk about, man. We always talk about it. How did we do in agreement? And it's never good. Last week was, I think last week we were better, Kev, but the week before we were like 1-5 or 1-4. Typically, Kevin and I don't agree on much. I'm seeing a lot of agreement,
especially with the spread, right? Like that allows some more variance.
Exactly.
Is Aaron Jones hurt? Real quick, sorry. I've seen like 5 or 6 carries, right? Yeah. He hasn't been in. I've seen Chandler taking all the
Chandler's
carries.
Been in, yeah.
So sorry to interrupt, but
no, that's good for Sean. I think he started Chandler in fantasy football.
He's had a couple nice runs. Did that one get called back, Kevin? Did you see? He had a long run.
It was a penalty, holding penalty.
Okay, it was 2nd and goal for Minnesota right now. 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
Still 10-0.
Still 10-0. Take an Addison touchdown right here. 4 minutes.
4.
How about I'm laying the points of Chicago. Carolina is in the feisty category for me. Just a bunch of wild cards on that team. Way too much inconsistency, but they have a ton of injuries, especially in the linebackers right now. Laying the points, Chicago is one of my best bets at minus 3.5. I was on them last week against the Rams. I'm just going to continue. Chicago is also a different team at home. Caleb Williams plays slightly better at home. I know he had a lot of passing yards on the road that one week, but they were just chucking it, right? So I think that's an outlier. I think he is more confident at home. Jake brought up a good point. The Chicago defense turning the ball over. I'm playing Andy Dalton interception minus 137. I know it's juicy, but listen, this is his 3rd game. He's gonna throw one. I don't know if he threw one last week. He's going back on the road now. Man. What happened?
Fullback touchdown. Minnesota.
Who is it? Ham?
Ham.
Oh, dude, that had to be like.
That had to be high. If they even had odds for it.
Hey, right? They might not even have had that on the book. Yeah.
17-0 though. You gotta love to see it.
Sauce Gardner getting called for all these holds that he gets away with.
Yep.
And
being shocked about it.
Yeah, being amazed about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, because they let it go everywhere else his whole career, right? That's the reason. Yeah, but I think we need to expose that when the Bills play them on Monday Night Football. Throw it at Sauce, dude. Let him get these penalties.
Josh has not been afraid to go at Sauce, so
yeah, and we'll talk about that future time. I think that's a really good point there, Jake. Yep. So let's wrap up that Carolina Chicago game. I don't think there's a whole lot more to talk about there. Indy at Jacksonville, man, ugly game here. I believe was Anthony Richardson confirmed out.
He is. Oh well, he's doubtful. He might be in like a reserve backup emergency role.
Why do they do this?
I'm guessing it could be just like a sore hip, like maybe bruised or something. But yeah, I agree. I don't know.
No, I mean just rule him out. He's out.
Yeah.
Like why keep us all guessing? Like I just like
He's your young quarterback. Just play it safe. Keep him out. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I hate the games, and for gamblers, for people playing fantasy, dude, it's tough. We got Jacksonville closing now. I don't have the opening lines here, but they did not open this, but they're closing as a -3.5, -176 favorite on the money line. Indy +148, and under over a 47.5, which I believe we're getting a little bit of weather in this game, which is interesting here. Jake, why don't you hit us with your nuggets for this game and which way you're going?
So I really like this game from a gambling perspective with Flacco playing. I probably would have stayed away from most of this if Flacco wasn't playing. Like Andy Dalton in Carolina, I think he just gives you way more consistency throwing the ball. So I really like the Indianapolis side here. But some quick stats for the game, for the nerds. Jacksonville defense, third most running back receiving yards given up, seventh fewest running back rushing yards, third most passing yards given up, and fourth most receiving yards to wide receivers given up. So I think the recipe for beating Jacksonville is just throwing the ball all over the place. For Indy, they're giving up the sixth most yards to running backs, the ninth most receiving yards to running backs, the sixth most receiving yards to tight ends and most touchdowns, seventh most passing yards, and 11th most receiving yards to wide receivers. So that's why I like this game for a betting perspective. I think both teams are going to be able to throw the ball. I think you can run on Indy too. They've been pretty porous. So I like if I'm gonna bet this game, I'm gonna go with a game script, and my game script for me is I think Indy can jump out in this game and put up some points and put pressure on Jacksonville. I think that's a fragile psyche right now in that locker room, and I think if they can jump out early or even put up some big plays, I think they can take this game. So I'll take Indy and the points. We want to cover props after you guys talk about it.
Well, it depends. Do you want to talk for 15 minutes straight?
That's why I'm asking if you want to come here. I'm trying to be polite.
I'll jump in.
I really like this game. I really like it.
Listen, Jake, you can't really love every game. We get it.
Unless you're a Jacksonville fan.
Yeah, I didn't like New England, Miami. Okay.
No,
did not.
Kev, give your take. Jake, let's close with your props on this game. But Kev, go ahead.
Yeah. Another, what I could perceive as an ugly game. I'm trying to figure out if I think Jacksonville is bad as it seems. Like, I feel like they're just in a funk. They've got the offensive weapons. I still, maybe it's the Clemson, a little bit of the Clemson fan in me. Trevor's been so bad. Man, is he that bad? It seems like it, but I still believe in them a little bit. In this matchup, you got Taylor out. Flacco's in at QB. Basically, because Jonathan Taylor's out, I'll take Jacksonville -3.5 in this one.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair handicap. I'm with you. Unfortunately, again, Kev, we are in agreement. I'm laying the 3.5.
Yes.
What happened?
No, I like that I'm going against you two in this one.
This is strictly a desperation spot here for Jacksonville. Coming home after back-to-back road games, division game against a team that's banged up. I do think Flacco is going to move this offense better, but I also think that Flacco is easier to scheme for as a defense. You know what you're getting out of him, right?
Yep.
Anthony Richardson, dude, good luck. This dude has got that kind of special playmaking ability. Flacco is going to sit in the pocket. I mean, if he runs, I think everyone's going to have their eyes like, oh my God, Flacco just ran the ball. Jacksonville banged up in their secondary worries me, but they need to win, man. And it's a division game. I'm going to lay the points at Jacksonville and just, pray, I guess. I don't love it. I like to better at 3. I didn't bet it. I wish I did. 3.5. I'm just going to lay it. Jake, you got some closing thoughts for this game?
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville should win, right? I mean, they should win this game. But so have they should have won 3 games this year, and they've won none. So, I think in a divisional game too, so I don't think there's anything wrong with taking some variance. I do really like props in this game. Again, it goes to game script. So for me, I like Flacco over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That's plus 126. I'm always going to take things that with a game script and then really good odds. So I like Pittman and Downs in this game. And I think you can do a ladder with both of them, honestly. And I'm a sicko, and I did do a ladder with both, and I parlayed it. So
Oh my
each
goodness
leg,
gracious.
which is even more ridiculous.
Oh,
But again,
no
like
blame.
right. If there's a game script, that goes this way, it could easily happen. So the odds were pretty ridiculous on it. So Pittman in his last game with Flacco, they finally throw him the ball. Right, he's got
If
six
Flacco's
catches.
in, Pittman's rolling. Yep.
Right, and so is Downs. So he feeds both those guys. So Pittman plus 70 yards is plus 132. 80 yards is plus 196. 90 yards is plus 280. 100 yards is plus 390. 110 yards is plus 540. And 125 yards is plus 900. And then Downs is 60 yards is plus 154. 70 yards is plus 230, and 80 yards is plus 330. I also like Downs receptions as well in a ladder. Plus 6 receptions, plus 145. 7 receptions, plus 240. And 8 receptions, plus 400.
You're a sicko, dude. I love it.
Yeah, dude. And then the other really weird 2 lines on here that I'm looking at is Christian Kirk over 4.5 receptions. I think that's kind of low in this game. Kenny Moore's a little banged up, and so if he's not playing or he's limited, I think Kirk can kind of go off on him. And I like Alec Pierce over 25.5. He's done that in 3 straight games. That line's a little low. Wow, look at you.
Look
How
at
about
you,
this?
yeah.
How about
Yes,
this?
delivery.
Come on over. Look at her. Come here.
That's within 5 feet. I thought we
That's
talked
within
about
Say
this.
hi to the people.
Hi, people. Hi, people.
Game day Bloody Mary from the
Let's
There
white.
you
go.
go.
Let's go.
There you go. And I know we
She did not
talked about
wanna See this
Yeah.
mustache.
a little bit off air, but that Minnesota defense bringing pressure, hey, they're getting to
Yeah.
Rodgers, man. They
Buffalo,
are
take
getting
notes.
to him.
McDermott better be in the lab right now. I'll tell you what.
Right.
Jake, great analogy there. Do you have? So you said you parlayed these ladders. Do you happen to have those odds there? Do you have the exact bet?
I can pull it up real quick if you want.
Pull it up, yeah, if you don't mind, because we love to see this. Kev, any closing thoughts in this Jacksonville Indy game?
Nope, we're good. Move on.
I'm the sicko who likes this game.
Hey, I like those plays, and I don't think the book that I use is going to let me parlay anything like that. But I'm going to. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. So I started it with Pittman plus 70 and Downs plus 60. That was plus 383. And then I went Downs plus 70 and Pittman plus 80. And that is plus 671. And then Downs plus 80 and Pittman plus 90 is plus 1221.
My mustache is growing.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a lotto, but I like it.
Yeah.
So.
That's what we're here for. That's what we do. All right, next game up. Possibility for game of the week. There are some really good football games this week. This is one of them. The Buffalo Bills visiting the Houston Texans. Houston laying 1.5, minus 126 in the money line. The Bills plus 108, and over under of 47.5. Huge over under here. Jake, gonna let you roll out your nerd nuggets, your facts here, and we'll kick it to Kevin after that.
Sure. So Josh Allen's 14-4 after a loss. Josh Allen in a dome in the regular season's 8-1, 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He has 8 rushing touchdowns in those games too. From a betting angle, Houston defense hasn't given up over 199 passing yards yet this season. Some of that's game script, but I thought that was an interesting nugget. They've given up the fewest receptions and yards to running backs, which is also interesting since the Bills like to feature running backs out of the backfield. And then Buffalo D, fewest yards to wide receivers and 6th fewest catches. Also, Houston D, they've given up the fewest yards and second fewest receptions to tight ends. So I thought that was kind of weird against the Bills team who likes to feature the running backs and tight ends. But I dug a little deeper, and Houston just hasn't played any teams with good tight ends. The best tight end they've faced is Cole Kmet. They played Indy, who didn't have anyone. They played Jacksonville with Ingram not playing, and then they played Minnesota without Hawkinson. So I don't know how much to put into that from a betting angle, but thought it was interesting. Um, I think both defenses are really banged up. The Texans middle linebacker popped up yesterday with an illness, and he's questionable now. So I thought that was a big one. Their backup has a back injury, and he was questionable as well. Their right tackle is questionable. So I think both teams are dealing with a lot of injuries, and I think that's maybe why you're seeing the over-under higher. This could be a little bit of a shootout. But I like Buffalo in this one. Houston's been making too many mistakes on offense. They lead the league in penalties, especially on offense. And so if they do that against the Bills, I think that plays right into the Bills' hands. And I think if Buffalo plays a clean game, they should win that game. So I have Buffalo winning by 3.
Love that. Kev?
Yeah, I can't tell if this is my honest opinion or if you guys' Bills Mafia just rubs off on me, but I feel like I've been on them every week. I'm Bills plus 1.5. Them plus money. Yeah, give it to me. I'll take it. Like them in a rebound game, high scoring game against Houston. Close game, but high scoring. I just feel Josh Allen rebound game. He's going to come back with a vengeance. I've got a couple props in this game I like. I've got Josh Allen over 1.5 passing TDs at plus 102. James Cook over 19.5 receiving yards, minus 114. And then this is just a straight storyline. Diggs first TD against his old squad, plus 1,100. Like that one there.
Yep. Yep. I think you'll see that Jake and I are in full agreement with the Diggs touchdown. Listen, we're Bills fans.
He's been good.
Not only has it been hitting, but over the middle of the field, probably where they're going to be playing him. Now, Tank Dell is back, right? So Tank Dell is back. It's going to be a little interesting, but, our best corner is going to have to be on Nico Collins. Diggs is going to fucking score. I talked about it on Monday. We know it. He's going to score a touchdown in this game. I told you to book it. Jake got it at plus 165. I got it at plus 129, and Kev played it at first touchdown plus 1,100. I don't think you go wrong there. If he doesn't, I'll shave my mustache, dude. That's how much that means to me. Okay.
I hope he doesn't.
So Bills off a blow-off loss. The injuries on our defense, it's tough. You just got to hope that, Taylor Rapp going out, I think, is big for us. Our D-line has to eat, and Ed Oliver is not playing. Is that right?
Correct.
So Daquan Jones, we need a game from Daquan Jones. We need a game from Dwayne Carter. We need Groot to show up. Obviously, Von's not playing. Man, this is a tough one. I almost locked up the Bills plus 1.5 as one of my best bets. This is just game script. The Bills have to come out of here with a win. They have to. Just for a moral standpoint moving forward, we can't come out of here 3-2 losing to Houston, and then I can't go on social media and watch all this Diggs won the trade talk. I'll blow my brains out. I can't do it. Buffalo plus 1.5. That's the play. Now, we had talked about Houston and their horrible secondary, right? They've given up the third most passing touchdowns. They're last in ADOT, average depth of target. I think we're going to come out throwing the ball, man, because I think Houston is good at the run. They're better than middle of the pack, I believe, against the run. I think this is the Josh Allen game. Shakir being out, next man up, right? So I'm playing a Curtis Samuel touchdown. We heard Joe Brady talk about wanting to get Curtis Samuel more involved. There's other Curtis Samuel props that I really like, but I'm playing the touchdown. It's plus 270. I already told you I'm playing the Diggs touchdown plus 129. Well, I'm also playing Diggs 2 touchdowns plus 650 because I'm sure Houston is just as sick as Jake is. Something disgusting is going to happen in this game. We know it. I'm also playing Josh Allen 3 or more passing touchdowns at plus 309. I don't think that we're going to have much on the run game here. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a shootout. Houston's banged up at running back. They don't have Mixon, and that's Houston's preferable game script, in my opinion, is run it with Mixon, and then you can air it out a little bit with Stroud. I just think that we're going to be putting so much pressure on them. I think that they're going to be having to throw the ball against us. I think it's going to be back and forth. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a hard time not taking the Bills every week. In our Do Champions group chat, I took the Ravens last week. Didn't love it. I got the Bills 31-30 with the Tyler Bass last minute field goal. Feeling good going into next week. Any closing thoughts, guys?
No.
Sleeper play that I played was MVS over 11.5 yards.
Dude, I've been looking at that every week.
Yep, that's an
They're
easy
throwing
one.
to
That's
him.
one catch. Yeah, they give him looks. I think that's an easy
Yes.
one. And then another sleeper one is Ty Johnson, anytime touchdown at plus 750.
Yep.
I think that's kind of just an easy one where he gets in the red zone and could be a nice little cash.
He just like he did last week. Is that right? Or was it against
The
Jacksonville?
week before, yeah, Jacksonville.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Go Bills. All right. Next up, guys. Baltimore at Cincy, also up there for game of the week here. Baltimore coming off that throttling of the Buffalo Bills, laying 2.5 points in Cincinnati, minus 136 in the money line. Cincy a plus 116, plus 2.5 underdog, and over under another high one, 48.5. What just we love these AFC North games. An awesome game here. I love it. I think we're going to see different sides of these teams. But before we get into our handicap, Jake, how about some data points?
For the nerds, Baltimore D's given up the 4th most passing yards, 2nd most receptions and yards to tight ends. Lamar is 8-1 versus Cincy when he is healthy.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow.
that
Holy
shocked me.
shit.
Wow.
Now he's missed quite a few, but I was really surprised by that. That was shocking to me. Conversely, Joe B is 3-4 against the Ravens, and he's 1-4 against Lamar. So I thought that was interesting. The Cincy D has given up the 10th most rushing yards to running backs and the 10th most rushing yards to quarterbacks. Now, I would watch out, though. They are getting quite a few guys back on the D line. So that is something to watch because they have been decimated, especially on the interior. They're getting a couple guys back. We'll see how that factors in. But yeah, I like Baltimore in this game. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati wins, though, especially at home. They kind of need to. But yeah, I'll take Lamar 8-1 and the hot hand.
Touchdown Lazard.
Love it.
Let's
Cash that
go!
one. Cash that one. Let's go.
What do we get Lazard at? Plus 280.
Yeah, it was a good one. I think I had him at
Welcome.
320.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rogers taking a beat and takes a hit on that one too.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm on Baltimore minus 2.5 in this one. Cincy's defense, hasn't been good. We did allude to them getting a couple guys back, but just they can't stop the running QBs. With the combination of that, Henry, probably a high scoring game, but I like Baltimore. Couple props I got in this one. Chase Brown over 13.5 receiving yards at minus 114. Hopefully a couple catches. He hits that number. Jamar Chase TD plus 120. I think I talk about it every show. If Jamar Chase is plus money on a TD, I'm on it. Got Zay Flowers first TD plus 1,200. So, yeah, that's about all I got on the props on this one. So,
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. See if it works out for you. I am on Cincinnati plus 2.5 here.
Love it.
Baltimore is completely smelling their own farts after the last 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks here. They go into Dallas and they get their first win, and then they kick our ass in prime time. But their secondary is weak, man. Their secondary is very bad. They're 30 out of 32nd in passing yards. They're first in rushing yards allowed, right? The game script's telling you everything you need to know here. Cincinnati is their strength on offense is not running the ball. They like to, and they have a pretty shitty running back situation. As you saw, Chase Brown had a massive week last week. They don't know what to do. Neither of the backs are good. They're going to pass the ball. Higgins is coming back. Eric All, their tight end. I know Jake's got some Eric All.
Yeah.
Dude, they have 3 legitimate tight ends, and they're getting healthier. Cincinnati has been in that Washington game. I think is an outlier here. That's the last time I think that they played at home. I think they want to come out here and put it on Baltimore. I think it's a good spot. It's strictly a spot, strictly a number. Give me the 2.5 points. I'm also playing Joe Burrow over 251.5 passing yards, minus 114. It's a huge mismatch. They're going to have to, if I like Cincy, they're going to have to be passing the ball here. Their defense is not going to keep Baltimore out of the end zone. So Cincy plus 2.5, Burrow over 251.5. You guys have any closing thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'll give you my play. I played Eric All over 2.5 receptions, over 18.5 receiving yards. He's done that in 3 straight games. Zach Moss over 13.5 receiving yards, and then Justice Hill over 15.5 receiving yards. I parlayed that all together for a plus 673.
Love it. Love that. That should be a good game. Looking forward to that one. I don't know if the Bills are going to be on. Are the Bills on national TV this week?
They are. They have the majority of the coverage for the country.
You know, I moved to South Carolina. I split the ticket with Sean, who you see in the chat, which is nice that they let you do that. You don't use it for any Bills games, though. I want the Bills in a quad box with the Ravens. No, it's stupid. All right, let's keep it moving. A game that I love coming up here. The Cleveland Browns visiting the Washington Redskins. Washington -3, minus 148 on the money line. Cleveland plus 126, over under a 43.5. A real tricky game here. Jake, you got anything to maybe help us through trying to handicap this game?
Sure. Cleveland D's given up the 9th fewest passing yards, the 3rd fewest passing touchdowns. They've also had 0 interceptions this year, which I think is interesting.
Wow, that's wild.
Washington D is 5th most rushing yards given up, the most passing touchdowns. All 10 of the passing touchdowns they've given up have been to wide receivers. They have the 6th most yards to wide receivers given up, and the 6th fewest yards to tight ends given up. So really that Washington secondary is just giving everything to the wide receivers. As far as plays or as far as who I like in the game, I've gone back and forth. I wonder if this is kind of a trap game for Washington, and this is where they kind of get had. I'd really like Jim Schwartz and what he can do to young quarterbacks, and I think that Cleveland D-line can really get after a bad Washington O-line that Jaden Daniels has really been helping out. Cleveland's also been used to playing mobile quarterbacks, so in a sneaky spot here, I like Cleveland in this game.
Love it. Absolutely love that. Kev, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on the other side with you two. I know this is probably a trap game for Washington, but I got Washington -3. Washington and Daniels, they're just rolling right now. We'll see how long they can keep that going before he has a little bit of a rookie wall somewhere in there. I'm sure teams will kind of get a little bit of read on him, maybe tweak some things to kind of make him a little more difficult for him. All the stats about the Washington secondary being terrible, like I get, but man, Deshaun Watson's your quarterback. I don't know if it's going to matter. Browns offense just isn't good. They haven't been able to run the ball like they typically have. Mm-hmm. I know Ford's a serviceable running back, so he's proven that in the last, couple years. So the fact that they can't get that run game going is a little little odd to me. So yeah, I'm on Washington -3 in this one. No props.
Yeah, and Kev, I can't fault you for taking Washington here. I went back and forth with this. I actually changed it in our spreadsheet 3 times this week. Washington's a freight train right now. I mean, why wouldn't you ride them, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be getting too cute, but I think this is the game where they get got. I mean, Jaden Daniels is still a rookie quarterback. He's looked awesome. This Cleveland defense is still for real, regardless if they're losing. The defense is good. They got talent all over. Jake alluded to Jim Schwartz. He's great against rookie quarterbacks. Super tricky game here. I think Cleveland is overall a better team. I think it's a get-right spot for the Cleveland offense here. Washington defense is absolute last in passing touchdowns. I'm going Deshaun Watson, 2 passing touchdowns in this game, plus 158. As Jake talked about, I think the Washington defense is actually decent against the run. I did play a forward touchdown just because game script, I think Cleveland will be moving the ball. He's going to get some touches in the red zone. Now, Nick Chubb is practicing in a limited capacity, so we need to keep an eye on this. All you forward owners out there and all the people that got Chubb on your IR, pay attention. It's coming. This Cleveland team is going to have a second half resurgence. I'm telling you this right now. There's way too much talent. Let Deshaun Watson shine in this game. It's going to happen. It is. It's going to happen, Kev. I'm telling you right now.
I don't see Deshaun Watson shining. Is his shine is gone. It's done been rubbed off.
Nope.
Rubbed off.
So he's shining from.
Yeah. It's the lotion.
He got a pregame massage. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be shining. It's going to be him and Diddy are hanging out before this game. He's got baby oil all over. It's going to be a good game.
I did bet a couple props in this game though.
Perfect. I'm on Cleveland +3. Jake, close it out with your props.
So Jerry Jeudy's getting a 36.4% red zone target share, and Cooper's getting a 27.3% target share. That's massive, and Washington's secondary is giving up the most touchdowns to wide receivers. You can get Cooper, last I looked, was +185, and Jeudy was +320. I also like Jaden Daniels anytime for +140. I think anytime you can get him plus money is a pretty good bet at this point. He's been running the ball in the red zone. And then I like Ford over 2.5 receptions and over 17.5 receiving yards. I parlayed that all together for a +26.45.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, you can do a first touchdown on Cooper and Jeudy. It's +1100 for Cooper and +1700 for Jeudy.
I love all that. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Don't mind me.
Would you break your chair?
No, man. I'm old and my sciatica is killing me right now, so I stood up. I got one of these desks. Hey, shout out Costco. I got this desk. A little bit, you just put it together and it plugs in.
Elevating desk.
Oh yeah. All you do is press a button. All these bets that I've been winning, I've been able to go ahead and buy myself a new desk. Follow us. No one to blame. Yeah, this thing goes up high. This is awesome. Okay. Love that. So Kevin's on Washington -3. I'm on Cleveland +3. Jake is on 17 different props.
I like the bad games, man. I think there's a lot of good angles in bad games like that.
Jake, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why you're here, buddy. We love it.
We need that. We need that perspective. Yeah, we need that perspective.
Otherwise,
right. Instead of just saying this game sucks and I'm not betting.
This game sucks. Let's move on.
No, there's an angle.
Hey, I'll feed the degenerates, man. I'll give you a reason to bet.
Not watching, not betting. Let's go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Degens are watching.
This next one I might watch.
The next one is a good one. Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
Nice division game here. Yeah. For anyone that's not a Raiders fan, just
barf. Yeah.
Hey, Raiders fans included in that.
Yeah.
Denver laying 2.5, -146 in the money line. The Raiders +124. Over under of 35.5. Ugh. Jake, you got some gold for us here before Kevin gets going.
Sure. So Las Vegas defense has given up the ninth most running back rush yards and the sixth most slot wide receiver points per game. Denver D has given up the fourth fewest wide receiver yards and the third fewest quarterback passing yards. Um, I like Denver at home. I think the defense is good. I think it's going to keep them in the game, and they'll do just enough on offense to win. I think if Kevin, you can talk more about this, but for me, it's just the Raiders are so banged up. Crosby, coming back, I think is huge and gives him a chance anytime. He's a game wrecker, so him coming back is big. But they're just too injured for me. Devontae Adams being out is tough, and they're struggling. I don't running the ball very well. I think Zamir White's out too. So
Good.
I got Denver. Yeah, right. Good. I agree with you there, but it's not like Madison's much better. So
Yeah, I'm a little. This might be good for Raiders fans. I'm on Denver minus 2.5 too. So you know what that means. That means Raider outright win probably in this one. Yeah, Denver's defense. Hey, we talked about it. Their blitz rate is their number. They're bringing the heat, man, and they're going to be on Minshew. Raiders did get the rookie Powers Johnson, whatever, last week, and he played well. It was pretty highly rated in pass protection last week. But Zamir White's out. Like I said, good. He's slow. They can't run the ball with him. He's not shifty. Madison numbers haven't been that good, but he's gotten a touchdown, I think, every week. So hey, I give Madison a shot and see what it does. Hey, I went draft day note on here. Don't take the Raiders no matter what. Like that was my note to myself.
That's awesome.
They're Crosby, like you talk, Crosby's back, so that defense will get after the QB, but they can't stop the run as per usual. Yeah, give me Denver. I think Denver could win this game kind of handily, as bad as that sounds, as weird as that sounds. But we'll see.
Wow, you got me wanting to come off my Denver minus 2.5 pick right now, dude. Listen. How did we all miss Zamir White being a complete dud?
Because he had that.
He had
that photo. He had that photo when his.
I've said he was trash from the beginning. I never liked Zamir White.
It was the
photo. Talking, like from a fantasy standpoint, in the
never
system,
touched him. Ugh.
So
I thought he was going to get bulk of the carries, so I did like him in fantasy.
Yeah, and he has been.
Yeah,
but he's never done anything with his carries, at all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean Madison too, but
now I think this is a perfect role for Madison, and that's why I think you're seeing him shine. He's going to score some touchdowns now with White not playing.
Right.
Watch for a little Madison regression, but the regular game script with Zamir White playing. That's where Madison shines. We saw it when Dalvin Cook was the running back. And then anytime Madison gets that starting role, he just withers away. I'm going to play Denver minus 2.5 here. If this was in Las Vegas, I think I'd be on the Raiders. Minshew traveling. I know they're going to get Crosby back. At what capacity? Devontae Adams not playing. It was the guy's name, Trey Tucker. Maybe some Trey Tucker game here for the Raiders.
Big shots down the field.
Yeah, that Denver defense, man, they look good, and now we're watching the Jets play Minnesota, so maybe the Jets losing at home to Denver wasn't that big of a surprise. Bo Nix remains the complete wild card in this game. I'm just going to keep my pick, Denver minus 2.5. Kevin's really got me wanting to play the Raiders, but I haven't looked at money splits for this game either. I'm just going to stay on Denver minus 2.5.
That's a good call. I can pull that up real quick.
Interested to see what Surtain, how he, typically he would probably be on Adams. With him out, anxious to see if they bracket that at all with Bowers or, how Denver plays that.
Right. No, I agree with you. And Surtain hasn't been anything to write home about this year. Teams aren't throwing at him that much, but he hasn't played that well. It hasn't been the Surtain of old. So I think that's something Kevin and you and I have talked about this for the last couple weeks. Don't play this player because he's blanketed by Surtain. Sure, I think that's something we need to watch out for, though. Surtain is not playing like he used to, so we need to keep an eye on that moving forward.
So there doesn't look like anything crazy for the lines. 59% of the tickets are on Vegas, but 63% of the cash is on Denver. And then 70% of the tickets are money line Denver, 57% of the cash.
That's telling me that sharp bettors are actually taking the points with the Raiders.
Yep.
Actually,
I do have a.
No, it could
it's
be
other way
perceived
around.
the other way, actually.
It's other way around.
Sorry. Yep.
Denver points. Or Denver. But I do have a parlay I did in this game. You know, if you're forced to watch this game, right, someone's holding a gun to your head, at least have a little action on it. So if you're a real sicko like me and you have to have a bet on almost every game, here's a parlay for you. See, this is why you invited me on the show, right? So Kevin, you know, you have to watch this game. Here's a parlay for you. So
no, I don't have to watch it. I've missed many Raiders games in my lifetime.
You actually feel better not watching it, right?
Sometimes I do, yeah.
All right, so I got Bo Nix over 21.5 rushing yards. He's done that in 3 of 4 games. I got Josh Reynolds over 23.5. In 3 of 4 games, he's cleared 35. I have Tucker over 3.5 receptions. And then I have a Bowers over 45.5. Put that all together, and it's a plus 1,045.
I love it. I have no bets in this game. It's just strictly stay
I don't
away,
blame you.
Purpose of the show, I'm going to stick with Denver minus 2.5. This is a sneaky good game here. Arizona at San Fran. San Fran laying 7.5 from the book that I grabbed these numbers from. You could widely find 7s available depending on which side you want. They're minus 340 on the money line. Arizona plus 7.5, plus 275. And over under a 48.5 in this division game. Jake, you got some good data points for us?
I always got to represent for the nerds. I don't have a ton for San Francisco. They're kind of in the middle of the pack for most things, or lean to the, I guess you would call like allowing the bottom part for most things. So there's no real like definitive weakness for the San Francisco defense. For the Arizona defense, they're giving up the 3rd most running back yards, the 4th most running back receiving yards, and the 10th most points per game to slot receivers. So think Jennings and Debo here for this game. I like San Francisco in this game. I don't like that Arizona defense, and I think San Francisco can limit Arizona offense enough. I think they'll cover the points pretty easily. 7.5. We're in danger. Like this is gonna be an Arizona outright win on the road.
Yeah. Kev, what you got?
Yeah, San Fran minus 7.5. Not real confident in that. What we got here? Vote to start calling Jake the Parlay Prince. There we go.
That is the artist formerly known as Otis, head creative guy for Sons of Erie, coming in. As you can see, he is creative as he is handsome. Jake is the Parlay Prince.
I got another one for this game too. I'll give after you guys are done.
I'd be shocked if you didn't.
Shocking.
So Kev, why you on San Fran here?
I can't really figure out Arizona. Is kind of why I'm on San Fran. Arizona, I've watched them. I've actually watched a couple of their games in full, and there's times when, man, offensively they look like they're rolling, they're running the game, they're play action. Kyler's running the ball, moving in the pocket, and then they'll go 3 quarters and they can't get a first down. So the inconsistency with them is why I'm going on San Fran. I do have Marvin Harrison Jr. TD plus 150 and Dortch TD plus 300 in this game. Other than that, it's about all I got going on in this game. I wasn't crazy about the matchup and what they had going on. So,
Kev, Why, if you like San Fran, why are you playing Arizona touchdowns and not San Fran touchdowns? Is there something that you saw that made you lean towards that direction?
I just think
And I'm not being condescending. It's a real question.
No,
Don't listen to
Arizona's
Jake.
second half. Arizona's second half is going to have to throw it to
Yes.
I think to keep this game close. So I think the run game is gone in the second half. They're going to be throwing it. That's probably why.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me. And I mean, this San Fran offense, I mean, they like to spread the ball around too. And I mean, I think a Jordan Mason anytime touchdown, he's at McCaffrey levels of odds right now. It's like
minus 230.
Yeah.
I mean, who's running the window to bet to do that if it's not in a parlay, right?
Right.
Ooh, the Prince of Parlay just perked up a little bit.
I got one ready.
I'm on San Fran minus 7.5 for the same reasons you guys are. Shop around, audience. I like it better at 7. Where I pulled the odds from 7.5. It's a division game, but I think there's a big talent disparity here. I think San Fran wins by at least 10. Arizona's defense is just not great. I know it's a division game, so I play ping pong in my head back and forth with it, but I'm just gonna lay it. I'm not gonna get cute and take Arizona here. Now, the second time these teams play in Arizona, I will probably be taking Arizona if the number is somewhere where it is right here. Jake,
do we know if Fred Warner's out? Is Fred Warner out? Is he playing? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I like Jordan Mason here, 100 plus rushing yards. He's done that in 3 or 4 games. It's plus 144. I like Debo plus 50 yards. He's 3 of 3 going over 54 yards, so I like him at plus 50. Also, with Arizona being weak against slot, he plays about 40%, I think, in the slot. And then I like Jennings over 70 receiving yards. He's gone well over that in 2 games.
Really?
Yep, and that's plus 320. I got all that together to get plus 1584. I also like a Jennings anytime touchdown if you want to really be sick and cash a lotto and throw that on there. And that brings it up to a plus 3,112. So again, I like these single game parlays for throwing, $5 on. For me, that's a unit, and it gets me to watch the game. But pick apart that any way you want if there's a certain bet you like. The Jennings line I really like here. They've been going to him, especially down the field. Purdy's been throwing the ball down the field this year, and I think you can get that Arizona defense on some of those shots.
I'm with you there. Quick update. I got 17-7 Vikings right now. The Jets got the ball at the 40. Do we have an Aaron Jones update from anybody?
He's playing.
Okay, good.
Interesting.
Although he's at 7 carries, and I haven't seen that go up in a little bit, but he has 7 carries, 29 yards, and then one reception for 24 yards. So
I think yeah.
But
I got him.
Chad, if anyone wants to look up the news, if he's hurt or something, but he's at least been getting stuff. So come on, Chad, step up.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it moving here. We're all in agreement. San Fran's rolling. Giants at Seattle. Tough game to handicap. We'll get into why. Seattle laying 7, minus 320 on the money line. Giants plus 260. Over under of 42.5. I think we're probably going to be all in agreement here. But before we get into that, Jake, what kind of nerd nuggets you got for us?
Hey, hold on. Aaron Jones hip injury out for the game.
Oh, that kills me. Brutal.
That kills 2 bets there. Okay.
Yep.
We were having fun.
Jets money line live.
Giving Jake facts.
Oh, what a tackle. Love it. All right. So the nerd nuggets for this game. I don't really have too much on Seattle's defense. Again, some of these defenses are kind of middle of the pack, and I don't really highlight stuff that's not really considered like a strength or necessarily a weakness. So the Giants defense, though, they're giving up the 2nd most points per game to wide receivers outside. Hint Metcalf here. And then they're giving up the 5th most tight end receiving yards.
Shout out Jeff, streaming from 2 different services right now.
Thank you, Jeff. We need
Getting
all
the
the help we can
stash
get.
in HD.
And Jumbo apparently too.
Yeah.
I like
Which line
Seattle
you
in this
taking,
game.
Bear?
I think everyone probably takes Seattle here. I think it's a really tough spot for the Giants, especially with their injuries, neighbors being out. Perfect game for the Giants to come out of nowhere and win, but I do like Seattle here to cover.
Yeah, I'm same. Seattle -7. Neighbors is out. He is the only legit number one option on that offense. So if he's out, uh, they're going to struggle to score. It's that simple. Daniel Jones, maybe some rushing numbers. I've got a prop here. I've hit this a couple times. When as soon as Neighbors went out, Wendell Robinson, anytime touchdown plus 260. They're going to have to throw it late in this game. I'm assuming they're going to be losing. Throw to keep up. So Wendell Robinson could get force fed some of them Neighbors targets, but still Seattle to cover.
Yeah, I like Wandale's receiving props better than his touchdown prop. I think they're gonna do everything they can to keep him out of the end zone. He's been a fantasy darling this year. Not only has Neighbors been getting the ball, but Wandale's been getting a shit ton of targets. I think Daniel Jones is going to be scrambling. I think with Singletary, is Singletary playing? Do we know?
No, he's doubtful. I don't think he's been ruled out yet, but he was doubtful.
I think the best thing for this handicap is if they trot Singletary out there banged up because they're not confident in Tyrone Tracy yet. Although Tyrone Tracy, good running back, I believe he played as Purdue right last year. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
he came out of Purdue. He's a good back. He just hasn't got enough run. And I think the Seattle team is it's a tough ask for the Giants here. I'm laying 7 with the Seahawks. You could have grabbed it at 6.5 earlier in the week. You'll see that in our best bets. I know a couple of sickos got it at 6.5. I like it way better at 6.5.
I agree with that. With
Otis coming up right now. Whoop.
Yeah.
Sorry. Agree with everything you're saying, but Giants money line was just too juicy to pass up as a dog for the week. Yep.
Yep.
I disagree. I think it wasn't juicy. I think it wasn't juicy enough. Vanilla coming in like the under. Giants D is strong numbers for how bad their offense is and current top stats. Yeah, I can get on board with that. Even if Seattle wins and it's what would you say the over under is sitting at 42.5. So Seattle wins 30-10, right? I mean, that game's still going under there. I like the under there too, Bon. Good call. Any closing thoughts here?
Nope.
I like pretty much everything on Seattle's side, so that's where I would put action if you're gonna have action. I won't hammer this parlay because it's way too long.
Follow him at Jake FB Data on X, and hopefully he tweets out some of his plays for you sickos. DM Jake, get his opinion on this. Make him show you what he's playing each week. You guys can talk for 3 hours.
Yes.
Packers at the Rams. Green Bay -3, -164 on the money line. The Rams +138. Over under of 48.5. Should have been 58.5. I'm sure Jake is going to allude to some of this. Jake, hit us with some facts for the game, brother.
I got quite a few for this game, like you alluded to. Green Bay defense, 8th most passing yards given up, 12th most wide receiver yards given up, 7th most outside wide receiver points per game. LA Rams defense, 14th most pass yards given up, 8th most receiving yards to tight ends, most running back rushing yards, and most wide receiver yards to outside wide receivers. And points per game to outside wide receivers, too.
Love that. Vanilla's playing over a half Dable headset smash in this game. That line is probably -300, but I think you lay the juice no matter what. Jake, what side are you going with here?
I like Green Bay. With Love coming back now, his second game, I think they're going to put up points. This could be a little bit of a shootout. I just worry with Stafford having limited weapons to keep up with this game. I really like Jaden Reed and Wicks in this game, and I think Green Bay will come out on top. But I could see a game script where it goes the other way.
Yep. Kev?
Yeah, I'm on Green Bay -3 also. Stafford having to carry this just banged up squad, man. He's just not built for that anymore. A couple years ago, yeah, he'd spread it around to whoever was playing, but just not the same. That defense isn't quite the same with Donald gone. Um, Green Bay's offense, top 5 in rush yards, top 10 in pass yards, third in total yards. So they've had, 2 games with Willis, 2 games with Love, and they continue to just be efficient, be effective offensively. I am a little interested to see how Green Bay and Love play this game because he wasn't great last week. He kind of got in a mode where he was just, I mean, he had a ton of throws last week, which kind of got off of their normal game script for the first 3 games. So I do still like Green Bay in this one, though, -3. No props.
Yeah, last week was a tale of two halves. Jordan Love coming off the injury looked like shit the first half. That lost him the game. Valiant comeback last week, though. He looked great in the second half of that game. Ended up throwing for 4 touchdowns. Bond coming in. The Rams are putrid. Expect a heavy Packers crowd too. Yep. All 3 of us are on Green Bay -3 here. I think this was in contention for a best bet of the week for me. I think I may have stayed off, but I think I'm gonna bet this when we start talking about our next game here. I like game script rye. I like the game script here where Dobbs is out because he's bitching about not getting enough targets. Which
Watson's out too.
I wanted to ask you this last night, Jake, and we'll get to it in a second. But Watson being out too, the Rams defense is dead last in rushing yards a game. Josh Jacobs is going to eat in this game. Yep. Josh Jacobs 70+ rushing yards is -108. Josh Jacobs rushing ladder is in play here. Yeah. I mean, I hit that Lazard bet +280 to score a touchdown. I'm probably going to take those winnings, reinvest them in a Josh Jacobs rushing ladder, Green Bay -3 type of bet. The odds are probably incredible. I'm on Green Bay -3. I like the over here. Green Bay, not great at defending the pass, and Whittington, Tyler Johnson, Tutu Atwell, those guys have been showing up for Stafford. I think he can do enough there. I think they're going to have to be throwing the ball to keep up. Green Bay's going to be putting on them. This Green Bay offense has been incredible.
Yep.
Anything else from this game, guys?
So I got quite a bit from this game, but I'll try to keep it short to more like strategy. I think you bring up a really good point with Josh Jacobs, and you could definitely play a ladder there. And then I like a couple players. It was. I like a couple players for red zone plays. So I like Kraft as an anytime touchdown +280. He's getting 22.7 of the red zone share right now, and he's coming off a hot game. And then I like Wicks at +165 anytime touchdown. He's the number 1 for target share for the Packers. So I like them getting down in the red zone and featuring Kraft and Wicks. I like a Jaden Reed ladder here too. In both his games with Love, he's like 138 and 139 yards, and they still haven't rebalanced out the yards for them on the books. So you can get Reed 70+ at -108, 80+ for +134, 90+ for 196, 100+ for 265, 110 for +350, 125 for +560, and if you're a real sicko, 150 for +1100. And he's gone over 135 in the last 2 games. So, and the Rams defense just isn't that good. So a Jaden Reed ladder could be pretty fun here. And then for your game script, if the Rams or if Packers get out early and the Rams are playing catch up, I played a parlay for Whittington over 46.5 receiving yards, Tutu over 3.5 receptions, and over 49.5 receiving yards. He's done both of those in the last 2. And then Kyren Williams over 100 rushing yards is +186. That might be something interesting. Green Bay's given up a lot of rushing yards. You know the Rams are going to run the ball no matter what. So I parlayed all those together for a +870.
The parlay prince coming in.
Gotta have one.
I fucking love it, Jake. I love it. Kev, any closing thoughts on this?
No. Anxious to see how Love kind of comes back on this one. That's about it.
Gotcha.
One other thing, I know I said a lot there, but Robinson and Parkinson for the Rams, they both are getting over 18% target share, and that's plus 240 anytime touchdowns on those. I think that's really good odds for guys getting that much of a target share in the red zone.
Love that. I'm actually starting Parkinson in a deeper fantasy league where I'm decimated by injuries and buys right now.
He's getting looks.
Projected to get 10 points in the ESPN PPR league, so no one cares about your fantasy team. All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football. The Dallas Cowgirls visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh -2.5, -154 on the money line. Dallas +130. Over under of 43.5. Jake, I know you got some good stuff for us here. This is a spicy, spicy game. I love this game. Jake, hit us with some facts.
Pittsburgh D's given up the 5th least aligned wide receiver points per game. Dallas D's given up the 5th fewest tight end receiving yards, the 5th least running back rushing yards, which I thought was surprising after that Baltimore game, and the 11th most points per game to wide aligned wide receivers. So think Pickens. That's really it for this game. I think this is going to be a really game script specific game. Like, how's Micah Parsons? Is Pittsburgh D line just going to take over the game and make it really tough for Dak?
Parsons out. Dexter Lawrence out.
Yep.
Urban
and so
secondary's been on IR.
Yeah, so is this going to be Pitt just controlling the ball all game and Dallas having limited possessions? I think it's a tough game script for Dallas here. I don't really love any plays for Dallas, but this is like a must-win for Dallas. They got to win some games here. So it is tough for me to pick this game. I think everybody is on Pittsburgh, and so that worries me. So I really wanted to lean Dallas here, but it's hard to not pick Pittsburgh in this spot at home.
Yeah, Jake, I was kind of the same boat. I got Pittsburgh -2.5. Everything tells me Pittsburgh, but somehow I just think Dallas keeps it close. They shouldn't, because they're not going to be able to get pressure on Pittsburgh with Parsons out, Lawrence out. Like you talked about, Pittsburgh's D-line should get to Dak, but Dak and Dallas in some of these games like this tend to keep it close, but I still like Pittsburgh -2.5.
This is a horrible spot for Dallas. It just is. The game script, what it's lending to, and the mismatches for that game script, they're going to be hard pressed to change what the script looks like. I don't care if this is a public side here or not. Pittsburgh -2.5 is my best bet of the week, I think. I love this game. Pittsburgh coming off a loss, too. Now coming home. Dude, this is Tomlin special, man. Dallas injuries are just too big, and they're in spots where they would have needed them to chase Fields around. Fields has been playing a lot better, and they closed out the second half of that game. They almost won after being down 17-0. That defense is going to, that Tomlin is in their ass. I mean, they're not going to let Dak come in here with Rico Dowdle. Brandon Cooks is on IR for 4 weeks. He's got a knee infection. I mean, Jake Ferguson? I actually like Jake Ferguson in this game. I think that's where Pittsburgh is susceptible to some passes over the middle. But still, I mean, I got Dak throwing an interception, -136. I got an interesting spot here. So I was looking for Pittsburgh alt lines because I'm going to play Pittsburgh. I like them. I like Pittsburgh to win by 10 or more. I need to go find that somewhere. But if you like Pittsburgh, instead of laying 2.5 and laying -110, -120, whatever it is now, whatever juice you'd have to lay, why would you not play these two bets? Pittsburgh to win by 1-6 is +300. Pittsburgh to win by 6 or more is +130. Why not play both of those bets? The bigger, the 2/3 of a unit on Pittsburgh to win by 6 or more, +130. A third of a unit to play Pittsburgh to win by 1-6, +300. You more than cover your bet. Now, obviously, Pittsburgh has to win, right? Pittsburgh has to win But why lay juice -2.5? What's the point?
Yeah.
Did I break the matrix?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a good point.
We'll see.
Why are we doing this?
Because that's an awful game.
Crickets.
Crickets.
That's all. Because you're right. I think, I have no rebuttal. I think I like it.
Right? So now, once again, Pittsburgh has to win, right? I get all of that. You have to do it. The line needs to be short, first and foremost, okay? You need to have a short line to do this. You can't do this on a big spread. The odds will not be in your favor.
Rodgers
or
is
they
down.
He got bent over back bad.
Yeah.
His knee. Yeah, he's grabbing at his knee. He got folded up on. Yeah, it's
darn
bad.
It. Oh, shucks.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, no.
That looks bad. Now? He's walking off, though, but it did not look good.
I think he just had enough.
Their backup is Tyrod, isn't it? Or is he in Giants now?
That'd be an upgrade if it was Tyrod.
Who is there?
No, it is Tyrod, I think. Because
Okay.
he played in the San Fran, did he not?
Yep, there he is. Tyrod Taylor slinging it on the side. He's warming up.
Now, hey.
Come back.
Real quick. Any more thoughts on this Baltimore-Cincy game?
Nope.
The Parlay Prince does have
Dallas Pittsburgh.
Good.
Yeah, Dallas Pittsburgh. I do have a parlay.
I'm pulling up my book. I'm looking at a Jets money line live. Go ahead and do your thing, Jake.
All right.
Okay. So I like the Pittsburgh side of this if I'm going to do a parlay. I like Najee Harris anytime touchdown plus 100. I like a Pat Freiermuth anytime touchdown of plus 310. I like a George Pickens over 54.5 receiving yards and a Pat Freiermuth over 32.5 receiving yards. Put that all together and you get a plus 2136 parlay.
Rodgers is going back out.
Is he really?
There was a penalty there was a roughing the kicker on the punt.
Brutal.
And now the Jets got the ball back and he's going back in.
They were punting from their end zone, though, so it's not like
Yeah.
he's got good field position. But
All right. Let's keep it moving.
You got what
now.
you're looking for?
I will. I'll pull it up in a second. I just have too many applications open at one time. Okay. So we are going to Monday Night Football here. We will put out our Monday Night Football best bets and parlays and props. We'll do that tomorrow. Now, Jake, that's not me telling you not to do anything. I still want you to talk about it, but we got a whole graphic that we're going to put out. We'll do it on Monday before the game. Kansas City, New Orleans at Kansas City, KC -5.5, -240, New Orleans +5.5, +198 on the money line, under over a 43.5. Interesting game here. A ton of sneaky injuries. Jake, hit us with some data points on which way you would lean.
all right, Kansas City D's giving up the second least amount of running back rushing yards. They are giving up the most tight end receiving yards, though. For the New Orleans D, they're giving up the 7th most tight end receiving yards, the 6th fewest wide receiver receiving yards, but the 9th most passing yards allowed. So I think this makes me really think Kelsey game. So yeah, I like Kansas City in this game. I don't like New Orleans going on the road. I think New Orleans game script is run the ball with Kamara, throw the ball to Kamara, and then hit your play action deep shots. I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Kansas City. Kansas City's secondary on the outside a little bit worries me, so I could see a Shaheed getting open for a deep shot or something like that. But I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball for New Orleans, and I think Kansas City should win this. But Kansas City loves ugly games. They love ugly games. They love letting teams hang around. So, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a blowout. 5.5, though, I'm kind of comfortable with that because I could see a Kansas City late touchdown or just winning by a touchdown. So I like Kansas City here.
Yeah, Jake, that was a good segue kind of into my thought is these KC ugly games. I'm on New Orleans +5.5 for that reason. For whatever reason, they just have let teams hang around and can't get it fixed offensively, which seems kind of crazy. Mahomes, multiple picks last week. Just little off. So I'll take New Orleans plus 5.5. Shaheed, like you talked about, Shaheed maybe a big shot. The tight end numbers you talked about, Taysom Hill maybe a big day fantasy wise. Yeah, I'll take a close, ugly one here. Give me New Orleans 5.5.
Fair enough. Taysom Hill is out.
Thought he was injured.
Yeah, he got injured last game. He scored 2 touchdowns, and then he went out. And I think he's going to be out for a while. He has fractured ribs and he has a bruised lung. Classic Taysom Hill injuries to have. Yeah, no one gets hurt like that dude does. It's a lot of points for a banged up Kansas City offense to be laying. But New Orleans going on the road is scary. I don't trust Carr. Taysom Hill being out. Casey could stop Kamara on the run. I do think KC's defense is good enough to hold New Orleans here. I'm laying the points of KC minus 5.5. It was 7, and I like New Orleans closer to that number. At 5.5, that's kind of no man's land for me. I think I'd rather lay it than take the points. Not a game that I'm super fond of. So I'm going to keep it at that. Jake, do you have some prop bets that you love in this game?
I don't really. I don't love this game from a betting perspective. I do like a Kelsey anytime. Yeah, it's a tough matchup. Kelsey anytime's plus 140. I do like that. And then I think if you want to bet something fun in this game, I love a Kelsey ladder here. I think it still hasn't bounced back, and I don't know who else he's going to go to in volume. So you can get Kelsey starting at plus 40 yards at minus 265, plus 50 yards minus 150, 60 yards plus 108, 70 yards 164, 80 yards plus 250. And I like it all the way up to 100. So plus 90 yards is plus 350, and 100 yards is plus 500. We'll see. They got to throw the ball to somebody, and I kind of like him here in this spot.
Dude, this real quick, this game, the live lines, when I open it up, it was the Jets plus 7.5, plus 540. It's now Jets plus 6, plus 420 on the money line. Is plus 6 worth a shot?
They're at the 32 yard line now of Minnesota. So
yeah,
if you're gonna grab it, grab it.
It's actually at the Minnesota 25.
Okay, yeah, with that run.
Yep. It plus 6. Oh, I don't know if I like that. I got Yep. Yep. Line's moving 6.5 now. Living and dying by this. I think I'm going to play at 6.5. I think Minnesota might struggle a little bit. How about the Jets? This is so dumb. They changed the minimum stakes when you go to bet live. Live betting is tough depending on which platform you're betting on. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little finicky. Yeah.
Especially if
Rodgers is just.
I don't know what's up with that.
Rodgers is not moving well right now.
That's okay. I like it. I like it better with Tyrod. So I took Jets plus 6.5 minus 123. We're gonna ride that out. I think the Jets are gonna be the ones to keep this game close. All right. Okay. Let's get into our best bets. That's the whole Sunday and Monday slate. Kev, throw up our best bets graphic. We are taking either a side or total, 3 of them. We'll go from the bottom up. Jake, you're the guest. We're going to let you go first. Go through your best bets and just talk, briefly. Obviously, we just previewed all those games, but talk briefly about what you like here.
Yeah, so I like Seattle at home. I don't think the Giants can score enough. I think Seattle will put up enough points to cover. So I like that minus 6.5. I like Green Bay minus 3 as well. I think if it's going to be a game, it's going to be points and touchdowns are going to be had. So I like them covering 3. If it's a sneaky backdoor, like I could see the Rams getting within 4. But I like that minus 3. And then Denver minus 2.5. I love Denver at home. I think that's a really tough spot for the Raiders, like we said. So I like Denver in that spot.
Awesome. Kev?
Yeah, give me Baltimore minus 1.5. I just think Jackson and Derrick Henry, not Travis Henry, Derrick Henry are going to wide out from Cincy back in the day. Going to run all over Cincy. Give me Washington minus 3 against Cleveland. I like Washington just to keep it rolling in that game. And then this one, Indy Jags under 46. I know we talked about them maybe throwing it all over the field, but I just, with Taylor out, Indy not being able to run the ball, Jags just inconsistency. Give me the under 46 in that one.
Okay. Fair enough. We talked about this most recently. I'm laying 2.5 with Pittsburgh. I think this line should be closer to 3.5, 4. I think it's going to get there by Sunday night. Grab it now. Pittsburgh minus 2.5. I'm laying 3.5 with Chicago. This line had gone to 4 in certain spots, back down to 3.5. I got it at 3.5 earlier this week. I like Chicago minus 3.5 here. The Rams are a better team than Carolina, and the Rams just went in and lost by like 6, 7, 8, whatever it was. Carolina's going to have a tough time this week. Carolina might not break 10 points. Maybe look for a team total under in that game. I'm also playing Cleveland plus 3. I wanted to put Buffalo plus 1.5 in here. I won't do that to the Buffalo Bills faithful. I will not mush them today. I'm going Cleveland plus 3. Get right game for Cleveland. Jaden Daniels is going to come back down to earth a little bit. His stat sheet may look good, but look for a couple of Jaden Daniels, maybe interceptions, maybe a fumble. Cleveland defense to show up. Cleveland plus 3. All right, Kev, how about our parlays?
Parlays, all right.
4th down for the Jets. Same thing, Jake. You want to go bottom up?
Sure. So I got Denver minus 2.5. And then I had the New England money line for the parlays. I kind of went with some odds here. I wanted to get something to get a little more juice behind a 2-pick parlay. So I took New England money line. They have no business winning that game, but I don't know if I trust Miami too much right now. So I thought, why not take a little shot here?
Fair enough. Kev?
Yeah, I've got San Fran, Arizona under 50. Green Bay Rams under 48.5. At plus 260 parlayed. Give me the under. Give me the under in these. Arizona's going to have to keep up late, but San Francisco's defense, I think, will keep them in check enough to keep that under 50.
The Jets kick a field goal there. Well, that's an awesome stand by Minnesota. The Jets drive 83 yards down the field. Can't get any more yards after the first down play there. Pathetic showing. If they maybe have gotten 3, 4, 5 more yards in between there, go for it on 4th down. But they're cowards. So we got a Jets plus 6.5 live ticket in our hand. Not covering at the moment, but I like this game to stay close within the 6.5 number. At the very minimum, the Jets lose and don't cover, and that's still a good day as a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm going with Green Bay money line minus 165, Seattle minus 7. I thought about buying the point down or half a point to 6.5. I kept it at 7. I think Seattle is just going to roll in this game. At least I think they're going to fly away late, I should say. I don't think they're going to roll start to finish. The Giants can be spunky, and I do like that Brian Dable over a half a headset toss from Vanilla. I like that bet a lot. This is Green Bay money line. Seattle minus 7 is going to get you plus 201. So we're all throwing out some decent parlays there. I like that.
Hey, quick update in the Jets game. Sauce Gardner just went into the tent for evaluation for a head injury.
Okay.
Minnesota's about to get the ball, so something to watch.
Yep. So looking back now, you can get the Jets plus 7 minus 120.
Get Justin Jefferson touchdown on this next drive.
Right.
Sauce out. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I'm looking at, I want this number to come back down to 6.5, and I might hedge right out of this thing. How is it? I hate how they do this shit. Kev, let's get into
Teasers.
Jake. Yeah, Jake, we do this every week. This is my DGen special here. It's my favorite bet. It's a 3-leg 10-point teaser. Don't hit them often, but it's my favorite one to bet. Jake, where did you go here?
So I went Carolina, Chicago. I went all overs. I think if you can get 10 points, it's a nice place to go overs. And I like rooting for overs. I don't like watching a game and cheering for no points. So I got Carolina, Chicago over 31.5. Buffalo, Houston over 37.5, and then Arizona, San Francisco over 39.5. It worries me a little bit in Arizona, San Francisco, the game script, if Arizona can't score like last week, but I think they both can get over that total.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that. I'm on. I got Washington +7 against Cleveland, Seattle +3.5 against the Giants, and KC +4.5 against New Orleans on Monday. First time I think I've went just straight plus money on all three of these. So again, Jet Neffy special. I've yet to had any luck with these, so I'm kind of flipping my mindset a little bit, and we'll see how this goes. I do like Jake's though. I like the overs, getting the 10 points in all of them overs. I do like that.
Yeah. Do you like that even though that you played Arizona, San Fran under?
Well, I like the thought process of, getting not specifically maybe that game, but the thought process of the over on the totals. I do like that, hitting all
I
of
do
them.
too. Once again, that was not condescending you. I was really asking. So I think it does fall in between the 39.5 and 49.5 number there.
The mustache is bringing out your condescending cop attitude there, Jesse.
Hey,
For a cop.
Dude, if I see that a situation needs justice, I'm gonna show up. Yeah. So I like Seattle +3.5 and KC +4.5. Jake, I like all 3 legs of yours. I don't love the Washington +7. If they're gonna lose, I think they're gonna lose by a lot. I'm going Miami +9. I don't see a scenario which New England blows them out. Buffalo, Houston over 39. I like both teams to score 20 points here. Okay, hang on. I can get the Jets +7.5.
They just took a deep shot to Jefferson too.
Yeah, first
I know.
down.
I'm watching.
Penalty.
I think you have to. Son of a bitch.
There's Sauce, no helmet. Doesn't look too happy. He might be done.
They just took
I
this
think
line
he's
off
done.
the board.
Yeah, they just crossed the 50-yard line, 1st and 10.
They keep. I don't know what to do here. All right, whatever. Miami +9. Buffalo, Houston over 39.
Don, what's
Cleveland,
up, man? Thanks for
Don.
popping in. My
Shout
guy.
out, Don. What up?
My guy.
I'm also taking Cleveland +13 here, which is risky, right? Washington and that offense can just go off, and I could be completely off with my Cleveland handicap, but I'm taking it. So
I got a little nugget for these for people. Like, if you're going to do these 10-point teasers, which I love the idea. I think it's really fun. You want to watch the odds too for if you're going to parlay and take a teaser. So you don't want to necessarily tease something that's like -120 or -125 because you're not getting good odds there. It's not a good place for your money. So try to find soft spots in the numbers. So if you like a number and it's at, like, say, -105, you can find 2 or 3 games at -105, -110. That is a way better place to take a 10-point teaser than it is, say, -120, -125. So just a little nugget there. That'll increase your odds from, like, say, +500 on these 3-team teasers to, over 700. So just a little thing there. Is that a little too
give you a better
nerdy for you
example of
there?
what you're talking about, Jake, because the 3-team teaser, the odds are set no matter what.
So if you're taking a line at, say, like let's say the Bears -102, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going let's see.
The odds won't change no matter what bet you're taking, though. A teaser odds are set in stone.
Are they? I thought they changed depending on who you took.
Now every book that I've used, like this bet, I think you got to lay $1.35, and it doesn't matter if you're taking a minus 120 side or an even side. It doesn't matter.
See, because here it's
now,
plus 120.
A 3-team 10-point.
Yeah.
Plus 120 on what book?
Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. So minus 250. Minus 250. So
minus 250.
Yeah.
Here you go. What? Don's chiming in. He said teaser odds are usually preset. I would agree.
There you
with
go.
That.
You're right.
Everything I've seen, yeah.
You're right.
Hey,
I'm new to this 10-point teaser game, so.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. That's why we had the discussions.
So, yeah, it's weird though. It's 3-leg minus. Yeah, okay, got it.
Yep.
Minus 143.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what they do. All right, so that is our full NFL preview. Once again, this is brought to you by Kayak Pools, W Energy, W.GG. Go check them out. Use promo code DUE, link in the bio. DUE.
Tin coming in from the my work NFL chat. Thanks, Tin, for joining. Appreciate it.
What up, Tin? We're also brought to you by Sons of Erie. Go check out their amazing artwork, sonsoferie.com. Let's get into a brand new segment. We had to get into it. We didn't have enough time in the past couple of weeks. We are making time for it because it's one of the most fun things to play, and it's widely available, more than gambling. Let's get into some DFS, some daily fantasy. I love this. So we used FanDuel. That is our it's also
preferred.
Brought to you by my mustache. FanDuel is our preferred method. We like it better than DraftKings. What we're going to do here, all of us put a lineup together and we're going to go down position by position. Let's go snake format, fellas. And let's break down a little bit on who we chose, why, and see how this is going to shake out. Kevin, why don't you lead us off with the quarterback position, and then let's just go snake format.
Yeah, I'm knocking off a little bit of rust here with the DFS. I used to be big time into this back in the day. But, yeah, I like Justin Fields. I always like the rushing quarterbacks and a lot of these DFS lineups. Just to got to get that something to give you that extra boost if you're not going way down the list as far as, taking a flyer on a guy. So, yeah, give me Justin Fields at my QB position there.
Nice. I love it. I think we all did a different one. Do you guys know if you guys played GPP or cash? Mine was tournament format.
Mine was tournament single. So I only do single entry. Mine was a single entry tournament.
Do you either of you want to break down the difference between the two? Because I can't.
Jake?
I don't even know what GPP is, so you got me on that one.
Don,
I know you can
type it up.
Type it up, Don. I know you can do like double ups versus like tournaments, and then I would watch out if you're playing these for the entries because there's a lot of people that'll use like
GPP is just tournament format. That's all it is.
Okay. Yeah, I like the tournaments, but I like single entry. So a lot of people will do the automated generation for their lineups to maximize different stacking and different things like that. And so they'll just throw like 150 entries in some of these tournaments with every variation you can think of. So for me, I like to stick to the single entry tournaments.
Agreed. That's a good point. So the difference is, guys, GPP, there's a guaranteed set prize pool. Depending on where you place, there's a guaranteed set prize pool. A cash game is just a 50-50 game. So, and I played a cash game. It sounds like you guys play tournaments. I prefer cash, where you finish in the top 50%, you're doubling up your money, right? Yeah, Don is saying there. GPP is a large tournaments, multi-entry stuff like the Millie Maker. Yep, that's absolutely right, Don. We should have had better verbiage there.
Yeah, single entry all the way.
I blame this on Jake.
It's always my fault. I do like single entry and I like tournaments. I do play the double ups, I just feel like it's I want some more ceiling or higher ceiling on what I can earn, I guess. And if I'm only playing like a $3 or $5 entry, I might as well, I don't really care about getting $3 or $5 back.
I'm
Aaron
seeing
Rodgers
the Jets
on the ground again.
Shit. Let's see. Here's the replay.
I just saw the Jets plus 7.5 is staring me in the damn face now.
He's back up though.
Yeah, he's taking a beating, man.
You know what, guys? This is a lesson here. I'm closing this. I placed the Jets plus 6.5. I'm not chasing this stupid game. I put my bet in Jets plus 6.5.
You're chasing a 9:30 a.m. game on a Sunday, dude. Like,
hey, dude, that Bloody Mary went down.
4th and 13. They're punting with 13 minutes left from the end zone. So
I see that now. That Bloody Maria went down really good.
How much was in there?
Enough, Jake. What are you, the cop?
You're up with the quarterback, I think.
Yeah, so I played a cash game. Jake and Kevin played tournament games. Deshaun Watson. I went Deshaun Watson plus or $6,900. I think he's going to have a good day. You guys heard it in our NFL preview. I'm going Deshaun Watson. Jake?
I went with Geno. I do worry a little bit about the game script with him and if he'll be throwing enough, but I think early on you can get some big plays with him. So I like Geno here.
Okay. Keep it going. Snake format, Jake.
I went Jordan Mason. I like I said before, I like him at getting over 100 yards here in this game. They're going to give him plenty of touches.
Yep, I fully agree. We'll get to that. I went Josh Jacobs. I think the game script lends itself to him. Rams are dead last in rushing defense. Josh Jacobs, $7,000. Kev?
Yeah, my swing here, I got I'm going 2 running backs, Chase Brown and James Cook. Chase Brown, a little bit of an outlier there, just playing that Baltimore, but I had to go something just a little different. And then James Cook, 8,200 on him. That's my 2 running backs right there.
Dude, that was a terrible punt. Oh my god!
Yeah, it was.
Minnesota in the field goal range. Jets suck. I am going Ramondre Stevenson here. Miami weak point on the defense. Overall weak defense, but I think their rushing defense could get exploited here. We know that New England loves to run the ball. Give me Ramondre Stevenson as my second running back.
I went Trey Sermon here. I think the value is just too good. I think he's going to get touches. I think he's going to get some carries. I'm a little worried about the weather there for a passing game in that game, so I like it even more for Trey Sermon. But again, you try to find some value with a couple of your picks, and so I like his value. And then I went Jaden Reed, like we talked about on the show breakdown. I really like his spot here, so I took Jaden Reed as the first wide receiver.
Strong agreement on Reed. I don't love Sermon. I think Sermon is going to get bottled up today. But what do I know? I love Cleveland today. I set it up and down. Neff, are you not concerned about the talk about Ramondre getting benched? This is the game where they're going to decide it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I know, he's got more talent than Gibson when it comes to running the ball.
Yeah, but Gibson fumbles too, which is funny, right? It's like you're going to go from one fumbling running back to another fumbling running back.
Exactly. Ramondre is clearly the better back here. I do agree, Don. It is a little bit riskier of a take there. This is going to be the deciding game, right? This is sink or swim probably for Ramondre, honestly. And you may see it in the middle of the game, which, yeah, sure. Maybe not the best play. But I'm going for it. I'm confident, Don. So
the price is good, though, for a swing, though. That's something to talk about, too, here is like, with these lineups, you're trying to find value with volume, right? And he's going to get the volume and the values there. So I like
that's all it was. That's all it was. And it did cross my mind, but Gibson doesn't scare me like maybe Bucky Irving in Tampa Bay, right? I don't think this is that type of situation where the other one is clearly a better running back. Rachaad White's better pass catcher, Bucky Irving better runner. I think Stevenson is better. So you could argue Stevenson might be a better pass catcher. Might not be a great argument, but you could. I'm going to Amari Cooper, 6,200, my first wide receiver. I think he has a game today. Good luck covering Cooper. We know Deshaun Watson loves to target him. Give me Amari Cooper.
Yeah, my two wide receivers here. I've got Zay Flowers, 6,900 on in that Cincinnati matchup. Cincinnati's defense, not good. I'll take that. And then Wan'Dale Robinson being the number one for the Giants with Neighbors being out against Seattle. 6,100, what it costs me to go down that road, which that might be a hot bet on DFS. I did that before he went out, though, anticipating him going out. So I don't know if that'll help me.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have the most popular guy, which I think at that price point, Wan'Dale Robinson is probably going to be a popular pick, Kev.
Yeah,
but it might pay off for you as well. If he goes and gets the points, then it doesn't really matter at that point, does it? You just got to hope that you were different in a couple other spots. I'm going 2-2 Atwell here.
Love it.
Yep, 5,600. The guy is Stafford's deep threat here. I think Green Bay is susceptible to the long ball. I also think that Atwell can get in the end zone this week.
Yes, I totally agree. The last two games, he's had over 5 receptions and over 80 yards. He's just missing the touchdown. I think it's a great call.
That's it. I think the price point was good for me there. I liked it a lot. Jake?
Similar fashion, I went with Wicks. I think with Watson and Dubs out, I think he's going to get the volume and enough of the volume. I think Jordan Love likes going to him. He's got the highest red zone target share too. And again, it's like one of those plays with value. So like Wicks. Then I went with Metcalf to stack with Geno. Giants are giving up a lot of points to outside wide receivers. I think Metcalf has the potential to have a big game and hopefully at least a touchdown.
Yep. Hard not to be taking DK Metcalf right now. I think he's one of the guys that you just want to pay up for.
Right. Three straight over 100, I think. So.
Right. So the dude's a complete stud. I paid up even more. The reason I took Atwell so low is because I wanted to get Chase in my lineup. The Cincinnati is going to exploit Baltimore's vulnerabilities in the secondary way better than we could. I don't think we have Minnesota field goal there. I don't think the Bills have this. Well, we don't have this type of receiver on our team. Let's just call it what it is. And Higgins being healthier. Now, I was looking at Higgins a lot, but I don't think Higgins is all the way back yet. I'm going to pay up. Give me Jamar Chase 100 and a tud this week. I think you're going to get what you pay for, $9,300.
Yeah, Metcalf, as you guys talked about, I'm on him. My tight end, when Isaiah Likely, until I meant to bring it up earlier in the Ravens game, just trying to figure out what Ravens are doing with between Likely and Andrews. But give me Likely 5,700 until they either get Andrews back on track or completely kind of phase him out of the offense. But it's where I'm at my tight end position.
Yeah. So my contrary brain here, and I know I'm not saying that right, and I'm missing a word here, but my devil's advocate here, I think that this is a Mark Andrews game. I think there's been too much chatter. Nothing points itself to this. There's no stats that lend itself to this. Just gut feeling. I think Andrews puts up a little bit of points today. They haven't really gone to him at all this year. Likely, the tight ends in general, they haven't gone to a lot in Baltimore. Likely had all the benefits in week 1, but they haven't really done much since. He had one big catch against Buffalo. It's really it. The Baltimore tight end room is tough. I do think that Andrews comes out this week. But, Kev, I can't fault you. Likely at a good price point there. Cincinnati, weak in the secondary. Sure, why not? I'm going Tucker Kraft. Dobbs, Watson out. I know I got Jacobs as my running back. I don't love doing what Jake did, having 2 wide receivers, but this game script is good for it. What Kraft showed what he can do last week, especially if Jordan Love's going to be targeting him. $5,300 fit into what I could really afford. I didn't like anyone else around there, so I want Tucker Kraft $5,300.
This is one of those sick games that you could do the problem was Jordan Love's price was too high for me, but you could do like a Jordan Love, Jacobs, Reed, Wicks, and Kraft stack, and I could see it actually like scoring. I don't know if winning, but scoring for sure. Like the way that offense just moves and they spread the ball around, I think there's enough ways that they can all get points. So yeah, I really like Kraft here. He had a really good game last game, and I think he's got good potential. I almost went with him, but I went with Cole Kmet to save a little bit more money. He gets a good red zone share. I think he's going to have some chances here in this game, and so I went with Cole Kmet. I went Kyren Williams here. Green Bay's rush defense hasn't been nearly as good as I thought it would be. Rams they got to run the ball. They got to take some off of Stafford's plate. I just worry about the game script, and if Green Bay just starts lighting it up, they might get away from the run a little bit. So hopefully they do lean into Jacobs and slow this game down, and so Kyren has more chances. So I went a little risky here with Kyren.
Don coming in saying that Sauce has got his helmet back on the sideline. Love to see that. I am going Jordan Mason here. Jake talked about it. I think it's a smash spot for him. I like him in the flex. Pay up for him. Kev, why don't you round out your team here for us?
Yeah, my flex, I got Deontay Johnson. I know he's a little banged up, but he is their number one. Dalton's gonna try to get him the ball as long as he's healthy enough to do so. And then Denver's defense plus is 4,000. I spent on that. Against this Raiders, the Raiders offense, they blitz so much. They always have the possibility for turnovers.
Rodgers just got crushed.
Yeah,
Harrison Phillips.
Yeah. Oh, love it. Let's go.
Horrible Harry.
Good
Lighten him up.
Seen.
Hey, that one was for the Bills Mafia, and you know it. Student's going to be talking to him about that this week.
Man, Rodgers is taking a beating.
I know.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey,
we got
to fade the Jets next week. Minnesota is physically kicking their ass. Fade the Jets next week. I'm on Denver defense, 4,000. I'm not talking about a defense. It's just that I had money and it was the best matchup around that price point. Jake?
I agree with you. I just went value here, cheapest amount of money versus a team I thought they might be able to get something off of. I think it's a good point with defenses. It's hard to invest any money in, but again, it's points though. So it was tough for me not to pick Denver here because you get 10 points from a Denver defense versus Carolina getting 0 or whatever worse. So that's a pretty big delta. So something to think about here. I went pretty risky going Carolina, but I wanted to save the money.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. And I think the benefit, because I was looking at Carolina as well. Caleb Williams just turnover prone.
Right.
So,
right.
Why not? That's going to round out
a lot. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to round out our Week 5 DFS plays. We will make sure that these all get tweeted out for you. Let us know who you guys are playing. I got some closing bets here that I want to go over real quick. I know that we're going over the 2-hour mark right now. I got 2 parlays.
On brand, though. On brand over 2 hours for me. So I've never done a show under.
Jake's comfortable. Kevin and I are antsy and our pantsy right now. 2 bets. 2 parlays that I love. Deshaun Watson over 210.5 passing yards. Huntley over 163.5 passing yards. Flacco over 241.5 passing yards. Tank Bigsby 28 rush yards. Jordan Mason 77 rush yards. Justin Fields 29 rushing yards. That is plus 2,100. Okay. I threw together one long shot parlay today. Touchdowns only. 8 legs. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Mason, and Deebo Samuel plus 26,500.
26,000. Like it.
You guys have any closing thoughts on this week's NFL segment?
No, man. A little early football action was nice.
Love it. Yep. Show might be a little bit better when we don't have this shitty London game going on. Jake, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us today. Greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys check out Jake on the Buffalo Blueprint on Saturday nights. Is it 9 p.m. Eastern, Jake?
9 p.m. Eastern, yep.
Buffalo Blueprint.
Also, hey, are you doing the post-game show with me today, Jesse?
Nope.
Okay, so After the Houston Bills game, we'll be doing a live post-game show. So check out at Do Champions on Twitter or YouTube to catch the post-game show live. Hopefully, I won't be alone, but yeah, I'll be there.
I'll pop in with you. If we win,
That a boy.
Make sure you
if we win. If we win.
Yeah, that
make sure you
Baltimore
guys
is
check
tough.
out. Make sure everybody checks out www.dubby.gg. Amazing energy. Get promo code DUE for 10% off your first order. Kayak pools, if you're in the Western New York area, Buffalo area, kayak pools, start planning for summertime. Sonsoferie.com. Do Champions everywhere. Without further ado, gentlemen, good show. Good to be seen.
Go Bills.
No one to blame.
Hey, for all the 30-plus year old fans, went to Juvie last night. Seen Juvenile live here in Charleston. Juvie killing it last night. Awesome.
Juvie. Love it.